Hi. In honor of Saturn's recent movement into the sign of Scorpio, over the next few weeks I'm going to be teaching posting some videos certainly, about a few very useful Scorpio-like tools for helping or guiding yourself through challenging or difficult times. Tools that have some spiritual um, resonance or connection to spiritual practice. Today I'm going to talk about a divination method, the Turo, um, which comes from a Western spiritual tradition. It's a divination method, so most people approach the Tarot asking questions, and usually asking rather desperate, panicky questions about their life. Not always desperate and panicky, but that's usually a starting place for many. Um, just as many people first approach yoga looking for exercise or a workout, but then find the spiritual practice begins to resonate with them and change their lives. So too, any divination method that you approach, you may first go to it looking for answers about your life, but eventually, each of these divination tools are teachers, are tools for spiritual practice, and so it is with the Tarot. Because it is a divination method, um, and because when you are approach such a method, you are actually approaching the divine, hence the word divination, and asking for you. There's an element of surrender that has to come into place, where you are asking some divine force for help. You're saying, "I can't deal with this. I don't understand. Help me." It's important to first take a moment to breathe, to relax, and to center yourself and pose your question in the broadest, most open, most honest method possible. And then you have to be open to the answer. Even if the answer that you get isn't what you want, if it disappoints, if it feels stupid, or irritates you, assume that it is an answer that comes from a loving and helpful divine source or force. And let it sink in. Take the time to pay attention and don't just rush back with more questions. Every divination method has its own personality or flavor, and it's important to both learn the divination method and to become aware of its own flavor. The Tarot is a Western method, and it first appeared as a deck of cards, a game in Italy in the 1400s, and became a craze very quickly throughout Europe, and also very quickly was used for divination. The images on the cards are very familiar images to Western eyes: death, justice, the Fool, um, the Empress, the Emperor. These are all very familiar images, and as such have a resonance with us. In order to use a divination, you of course have to learn about it, but the process of using it is also a good way to learn it. And there's two ways that I find particularly useful to learn the Tarot. One is to pick a card a day. This is a good, solid way to get a good, solid working understanding of the cards, of what they mean, of what kinds of physical experiences, emotional experiences each card represents. If that's the way you want to go, I would highly recommend one of my own Tarot decks, one of the decks I designed. This is the original box that it came in, although sometimes I adapt that a bit. And this is what the cards look like, or some of the cards. They're very colorful and easy to read, and especially with this deck comes a book that years after its production, I remain astonished that I actually produced. It's very clear, succinct, concise, accurate. It's a really, really good book, especially if you're picking a card a day, because it's really, really down to earth and very, as I said, clear, succinct, and concise. So contact me if you want more information about how to get that. But that's a really good way to go if you're going to pick a card a day. Another method that really eventually you have to do, even if you start with picking a card a day, eventually at some point you have to really understand the backbone of the Tarot, the 22 cards with the big pictures, the Major Arcana. Much has been written about the significance of the Major Arcana, the spiritual and philosophical meanings of them, and they are profound images. One of my favorite ways of looking at them and of working with them is relating them to the fool's journey or the hero's journey, a la Joseph Campbell. The 22 cards start with card 0, the Fool, and one can look at them as taking you on the hero's journey, which, according to Joseph Campbell, involves the hero, often someone young and naive, starting off on a dangerous path, on a quest, facing difficulties, sometimes monsters, certainly facing evil, overcoming evil and the monsters, having some kind of peak or epiphany-like experience, and then returning home to share their knowledge and understanding with the community, or share the wealth. Often they've gained wealth with the community, and usually living happily ever after as well. Can't promise you the happily ever after, but all of us in life go on many, many heroes' journeys. And the Tarot going through each card day by day, in order, the 22 cards of the Major Arcana, can take us each on our own personal journey. The number 22 is significant. The cards are numbered 0 through 21, and 21 days, according to some scientific sources, is the amount of time that it takes to imprint a new habit or behavior pattern to change a habit and imprint a new one on our body-mind consciousness. So an interesting way to work with the Tarot and with this hero's journey is to set an intention or a focus, something you would like to change or develop or investigate, a journey that you would like to go on to change your body-mind consciousness, and to focus the next 22 days on that step-by-step process. So tomorrow we'll start with the Fool, but today take some time to think about what journey you would like to go on. It can be as grand or as mundane, as broad or as specific as you would like. It can be to develop compassion for yourself, or contentment. It can be to stop smoking. It can be to be just a little bit nicer to your husband or son, or it can be to take better care of yourself. It can be to find God, although I'm certainly not promising that you will find God in 22 days, although I understand that God is everywhere. But no matter what, set something that resonates with yourself. It doesn't have to be the only thing you think about for the next 22 days, but it can be the beacon. It can set the tone for what you're working on. Think about what journey you'd like to go on, and tomorrow we will start with the Fool. Have a good day.